Hey, welcome to this episode of
What Games We're Playing.
We really need a new intro, bro.
I think so.
Yeah.
On this episode, we're going to go through the games you've been playing this past week on the Xbox, PlayStation, and the Switch. And would you like to start or me?
I'll let you start.
Well, my first game I'm playing, I was going to play Mortal Shell,
Yeah.
like I said last week, but I decided to switch it up just because I really don't know why. I'm playing a game I played like a year ago. It is a sci-fi game that is third-person action RPG. It kind of has a weird feeling like Norse mythology in it.
Yeah.
And it's very Souls-like, but instead of using melee weapons, you use guns pretty much.
Oh, okay.
It's Immortal Unchained.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is ruthless.
Yeah.
It is tedious. It is fun.
Yeah.
But I'm having a good time with it. I mean, the story is just kind of weird. You know, that whole generic, there's an evil entity that's trying to destroy your, I guess, universe, your world type thing, and you've been in prison for centuries and you're the only hope. But I mean, it really is Dark Souls in without swords, instead with guns. You upgrade your guns, this and that. And let me tell you, you would think it's easy playing a Souls-like game when you can shoot things from the distance and not be so close. You could not be wrong. This is ruthless.
I would think they were shooting back at you if you have guns.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See, so it kind of
you
evens
gotta
it out.
monitor other things. Like you still have a melee attack, but it's not. It sucks.
Yeah.
It's a very buggy game when you're playing it, so it does impede some of the things you want to do. But like you dodge this and that, but you got to watch your ammo.
Yeah.
Really badly, because sometimes you're like,
I'm that guy that's like never watching the ammo, how much ammo they got, and when you run out, it's like,
yeah, like you really gotta. I'm gonna say it's harder than the Souls games and those type of games that I've played. Like it actually, to me, is pretty. It's difficult.
Yeah.
But it's also very difficult too, and I have to state this because, in all honesty, the first 2 hours of the game kind of sucks. Like the first area you're in is just so bland.
Yeah.
But then it opens up. You go to your main hub, the Grand Hall, and from there you can access the other realms that you go and explore. And some of the worlds are beautiful.
Yeah.
They're all loaded with secrets and secret doors, this and that. Well, shortcuts and all that stuff. And it's kind of cool. Instead of having a bonfire, you have an obelisk where you can go and upgrade your guy and save your shit and everything that respawns enemies. And if you die, so it's the same rules as Dark Souls. The leveling up's cool because some of the guns are really cool you get. But again, it's you run out of ammo really quick when you're not paying attention. And when you're on a boss fight, you really got to start judging this. And like, some of the bosses are cool. I wasn't like where I am right now in it because I don't remember it from a year ago as well. But some of the boss fights, none of them are really fully like, whoa, memorable.
Yeah.
But they're all hard.
Yeah.
But then you find that pattern, and it's like one of the bosses, you're literally just kind of strafing around him and shooting, just trying to get to his back end. Every time he's about to shoot, you just dodge. You get a few shotgun rounds in him, which kind of sucks in a way.
So your Souls-esque bosses where it's
kind of, just because you get that distance, whether you're using a machine gun and a sniper rifle, whatever you're using. It just kind of, that's the only part that took away from it. But then you realize you missed a couple shots. Now you're screwed because you got to get close to him. Which it does make it very, I guess, strategic in a way, but not really strategic because who's really paying attention to it? But I mean, a lot of the actual gameplay that I enjoy is like the worlds are very different looking that you go to. There's some they're unique, very maze. Like I said, it's not nearly as good as any of the Souls games or anything like that. Probably on that list, like I preferred the Surge 1 and 2 over this even. But it was... I like the fact that they went in a different way with it. Instead of using that fantasy world-esque where it's all melee and, dodging and parrying, instead throw you in this world and give you guns.
Yeah.
I mean, even the character creation at the start's kind of cool. It's not really like a huge character creation, but I mean, you can make your guy look completely different.
Yeah.
Have red skin, these type things, which is, a little cool. Wish they had more of a character creation that you're playing with.
Yeah.
Right? But all in all, I mean, I'm still having a good time with it. It is very buggy.
Yeah.
It is very, very buggy. There's a lot of things that just, yeah, I've had to reset a couple times. It's just stopped playing on me. But, I mean, what are you going to do, right?
I don't know if I could handle that. If I have had to reset, like, saying that when Fallout 76, I know the hate you have for it.
Yeah.
The crashing, like the server crashes, like even that, like that to me, like as much as I love the game and I'll always put it back on,
it does pull you away from it.
It does, like especially boss when you're doing that end game boss fights, like
that's the thing. I remember when I first did play Immortal way back. I think it was like a year ago, may have been a little bit more. I was getting very frustrated with certain things like that, and I remember I stopped playing and I did play through to finish it because it was whatever, I just wanted to finish it. But I don't know, I decided to try it again after I played Hellpoint because I was like in a sci-fi action RPG type world. And it is good. I mean, I would definitely recommend it to people to play if they like the Souls-like games, to that difficulty, but you got to get by the first couple hours of the game, which is, because it really does open up, just even the aesthetics of the game. Yeah. It really does open up. And just the overall gameplay, once you get a little bit leveled up, and I don't know, once you get some of the more fun guns to play with, I guess you could say as well, it really does add that next layer that makes it enjoyable. But for the first, probably 2 hours, you're just like, and the tutorial basically, once you're done the tutorial, it gets better. It's just like, okay, let's just get through this.
That's one thing I haven't found yet in the game, is a fun tutorial. Which is weird to say, like, it's something you look for, but, like, because all tutorials are just...
They are.
The bane of anybody's existence.
100%.
But, like, I want to find a game that has a good tutorial, like a fun tutorial. Something that you don't think of as a tutorial.
I just wish you could skip tutorials and just learn yourself. I mean, I've become a fan of that. Just throw me in the mix and let me figure out.
Even if I had the option, though, I'd feel like I was missing out, and I would always do it. I can't stop myself from doing it just because it's like maybe there's a secret. Yeah, maybe I'm missing something in it. Maybe like there's only one thing that you can find in that one part. There never is. Like maybe once in a blue moon you'll find a game that does it, but I can even as much as I hate them, I can never find it. Like can never find myself skipping a tutorial, like if you have that option. I
prefer tutorials as you're playing and progressing through a game. They teach you how to do things rather than just a standard, you'll play the first hour and do a tutorial. No, let me play it as we're learning something new, hit me with it. It's like, now you have to do this. That way you're not, I don't know, you get into the game faster. Yeah. That's my thing, is I like getting into the game, and it's like reading a book, you got the first 20 pages or else you're not going to read it. Game's the same to me. With Immortal Unchained, I remember the first time I played it, I just was bored. Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm going to play and play and play. That's how the second time now, I'm like, I remember the first couple hours was, but then it's like, you open up your first realm and you're like, okay, now we can go have what this game's about. Yeah. So that's what I've been playing on the Xbox One X. It's, I say, for all this bugginess, everything like that, it's fun. It is hard. It is hard. And I can't stress that. Like, it's completely, we're all used to third person action games like Ghost Recon, stuff like that. This is just hard because you're watching your bullets, you're monitoring your stamina, you're monitoring everything. Yeah. So that's what I'm playing on the Xbox. What about you?
The Xbox One, I'm back on Grounded. They've had a couple updates in I think it was last week. They brought in a new update with some new new insects. There's a giant bird.
Nice.
That you can't kill. You can't, which thank God. Because when I saw it, I did try, and thank God it did do it. It was like this to the bird. Didn't even notice me. So I was like, thank God, because it's like just my stupidity, just pissing this thing off, and then having this thing chase me the rest of the game would have been annoying. I would have had to restart the game, and that would have killed me. But the stuff they've added, you can tell that they're bringing a lot into the game. Like, they're not just leaving it and then
every 6 months.
Yeah, exactly. Like, bring out something new. Like, they keep on adding stuff, which I am enjoying.
That's good.
I'm liking the progress that's going on in the game.
That's good. I still want to try it out, though. I really do want to try it out. Like, you're talking about it, and it does sound fun. I will say that. I'm going to try it out. Maybe I'll try it in the next couple of days or something, and
Hopefully.
sit for a few hours and
See how brave you are. You like to talk about me being scared of video games.
Alien isolation, buddy.
No arachnophobia safe mode for you.
Alien
Bring you
isolation.
right to the spiders, bro.
Just remember the hunt showdown. Joey.
That was bad too. We were at a big party when that happened.
I really wish I had
Yeah.
that recorded.
We were at a pretty big party when that happened. That was pretty embarrassing
Who was
for
that? That was Joey, don't worry.
me. Yep. Pretty embarrassing. No one was around me, but my face was red.
Oh, I was laughing. No, but I really do want to try out Grounded.
You should.
I
You
do.
should. I know it's not your type of game, like it's that Ark style
Still,
game.
you know what? Even with Ark and stuff like that, I still tried it out, and it wasn't my thing. But when you mentioned that this game Grounded is like Honey I Shrunk the Kids meets
That's
Lord of
what
the
brings me
Flies
into it.
equals Grounded, it's like, well, there's my childhood right there.
Exactly.
Maybe I will like it. Who knows? Like, I mean, who would have ever thought I like Darkwood?
Yeah.
And the game is amazing.
That's
right. So
the Honey I Shrunk the Kids like feel is what keeps me in the game.
yeah,
That's all I don't know the main story. I don't know why I'm a tiny kid. All I know about it is you wake up beside what looks like a suitcase with the 4 little player like body type, like just like little things. So it's kind of creepy in that sense. Like, who did this to you? Why? Like, you are a child. Like, this is my whole thing. You are a child, so like it is that creepiness to it. Who would do this to a child? Like, How Do You Instruct the Kids? It was an accident.
that damn baseball.
Yeah, the baseball's in the game too. Eh?
See,
That's I'm telling you, it's my childhood in a nutshell.
that's what I mean. That's why I want to try it out.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
So, what about your PlayStation games?
Well, okay. So I was gonna go back and play Medieval.
Yeah.
But let's just face it. We know I'm very biased to the game I'm playing.
Yeah.
I went back and played Final Fantasy VII again. And I still say the same thing, which is why I could not write the review on it, because unfortunately I am way too biased on this game. And even for its flaws that it has, I still think the game's amazing.
Yeah.
It
would be hard to, like, you always have something that you don't like about a game. That's fine.
Oh, 100%. There are things, but at the same time, it's like I said before about Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm in that world.
Yeah.
You know, I love the characters that you get to
It's
play
hard not
with.
to.
I love the villains. You know, I love the fact it's like I just love the world.
It's one of those like the story, like everything. It's one of those.
It's epic.
It's one of those things that just no matter. It could be a book, it could be a movie, game. It's one of those rare things that no matter what, it's just.
To me,
it brings you into it. It
does.
immerses you into it.
It does.
No matter what.
Beyond the graphics, even, and I'm not one that sits there and listens to the music and soundtracks a lot of video games. Like, I mean,
Same here.
some I do, but for the Final Fantasy VII remake, it's just
all Final Fantasies. Their soundtracks.
It's so. Like, I'm using the word epic again because it's a very epic feel to it.
It always has been.
But it's just there, and every time I put it on, it's like, oh, I'll turn on my PlayStation, it's there. It's like, oh, as soon as I hit that button and you hear the music coming right to start, before you even start the game, you're just like, yeah, I'm playing again.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened. I was gonna play Medieval, and then Final Fantasy was right next to it. I clicked over, I'm like, and then I just started right again from the start, and I mean, I beat it this week again.
Yeah.
And I love it so much. It's just, I can't help it. Like, yes, whatever, I've got one end game going on, this and that, but I just wanted to play through it again.
Yeah.
And even though sometimes playing through a game again, you know, we know how everything is, it's kind of tedious. It doesn't matter sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's
what I felt like this week. Like, I
any
could have
Final
been doing
Fantasy
whatever.
game.
Exactly. And I could have been doing whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just, no, I want to start it from the very start again and then just go with it.
Yeah.
Right? And so, again, how biased I am, which sucks because I just love the game. I can't say nothing bad about it, and I know a lot of people are, you know, up in airs about certain things, the combat, the story, this, that. You know what? Everyone's got their opinion, and I am not disappointed with what they do with Final Fantasy. The only thing I am disappointed with is that I have to wait so long for the next episode to come out. But you know what? It's the anticipation now of waiting, because that's how much I enjoyed this remake. Whether it be because it was a good game or not, or it's just my childhood coming back to something I love so much that I refuse to not like something.
I think
it could be a little bit of both, but it doesn't matter because every time every time I have those cinematics, even though they're captured already, you know, where Cloud gets the visions of Sephiroth, it's like, oh, it catches you again, you know. It's like watching your favorite movie and that favorite scene in that movie. You're just like, it doesn't matter if you're setting in your head, doesn't matter if you know it, it's there.
Ready Player One, every time I see Batman climb up that mountain,
you're just like, whoop.
That's it. That movie, I love that movie again.
But that's what I mean.
Seeing the old school Batman.
That's what I mean. That's why I couldn't do the review on this because it would not have been a fair review. For 100% it wouldn't have been. I know this. It could have been the shittiest game ever. Yeah. And I still would have said, nope, 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
And now even the same thing. That's why it's like, I could talk about Final Fantasy for the next 10 hours.
Yeah. But
I'm enjoying it still.
A game that draws you in, even with its faults, that you can still have your faults, your hates about the game, and still love the game for what it is. That's, the developers did something right.
100%. You can feel the love that they did in this game. From the music, from the cinematics, to the expressions, to the way the characters are talking. Like Barrett sounds to me like Barrett would sound in real life. You know, it's all there. My only downfall is that I don't have more content to play. That is the only thing I can say bad about the game right now. But it's not even a bad thing. That anticipation is like, give me more news about the next episode or something.
Knowing the game, it just feels like an unfinished game. That's how it feels to me.
It does. And I want to continue.
Yeah.
Right? But again, I decided to jump back in because I love it so much. And, you know, that's what I've been playing on the PlayStation. Now, next week, I don't know what I'm playing on PlayStation. I might jump into Medieval. But as for this past week, yes, it was Final Fantasy VII again.
Well, I've been playing a game that's not-exclusive, but it was something I just saw and I had to play again. It was Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah.
You know what?
Toe Jam
and Earl.
Great.
One of those games, it just has no real point to the story. It's just like I've played it from my childhood till the remake, like till today. I couldn't tell you what that's about. Like getting your spaceship parts.
It crashed. You're looking for it.
Exactly.
That's all.
That's all I need. That's all I need.
You know what? I love that game on the Genesis when it came out.
So did I.
I remember playing it for so long. They were just playing it, and then when they had we played it on the Xbox One like a year ago or whatever, and that was a blast too.
Oh yeah.
Because you're really good at that game. You're do all over the place. It's a fun game. That is a good game.
Yeah. It was one of those games. I don't care what console it's on, anything. It's even the look of it, the graphics. They're better graphics than it was, but it's still It's not like they made it like realistic or changed the graphics to the point where it's not Toe Jam and Earl anymore. It's still Toe Jam and Earl. It's just
the same thing that they did. That's awesome.
That's one of those games where it's game for what it is.
That is awesome.
It's childhood in a nutshell. Here you go.
Awesome to sit back and play.
It's one of those games.
Couch co-op game too.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those games where it's like your buddies. Now it's online, whatever. But even when you're sitting beside the person, the split screen.
Oh yeah.
It's one of those games. It just grabs you and takes you back.
Yes, I would say they did that because again, back in the Genesis days, and we played it on. Again, we played on Xbox. It was like, there I am, a kid again, just sitting back playing and enjoying, having your pop and chip party by yourself with the games on. That's how I felt like I was 10 years old again. Good game. That's a good game.
Yeah.
Oh
it's
my God.
One of those games I may not play like for hours on end, but I can play an hour of that game and just
awesome. That is
feel accomplished.
That is a good game. Very good game. You know what? I might have to go back and play that now.
It's one of those games where I can play that
about that
for an hour and have so much fun.
Yep, that experience itself. It's a fun experience.
Yep.
You're running from people.
It's not even like you're accomplishing. You're not accomplishing like some big mission.
No, you're just
getting to the next world. You're getting inside of there and going up.
That's it. Oh man, I totally forgot about that game. Thank you for reminding me of that one.
Problem.
That is a great game. Like just a great game.
Yeah.
See, I've been playing on the Switch. just a ridiculously fun game. But it actually is really good on the Switch. I have to say that. I think this game was personally made for the Switch because in handheld it's awesome. It is a vehicular action combat zombie Armageddon game. Zombie Driver.
I don't think I've heard of it.
I know it came out on other things and stuff.
Yeah.
I think it was on the 360 as well. But I don't know. I was just on the eShop and I was like looking through. I just want to play something fun. It is pretty much as it sounds. You pick cars, you get them as you go along, for limos, a taxi, stuff like that. You just plow through hordes of zombies on your objective missions where you got machine guns, flamethrowers. Missions are repetitive sometimes, don't get me wrong. Like sometimes you have to like clear out an area where survivors are, and then they'll come out and jump in your car and you gotta take them back to where your objective, your safe house or wherever they gotta go. Other ones you gotta fight the bosses. It is very repetitive. It does get harder as obviously the missions go on and on and on, but it is okay. It's pretty fun. You know, like it really is fun for that quick type play if you want to play for an hour. And it's done in a way where like the objectives are, like missions are pretty straightforward, fast. So you're not spending like 3-4 hours in one spot driving around. So it's like you go do boom, you got side missions you can do as well in that same objective. Go back, get cash, upgrade your cars even better with, you know, whether it be weaponry, whether it be armor. Like it's fun. Like, it really is. It is as it sounds. You are literally driving a car, running over zombies and undead type things like dogs and fighting bosses. But there's game modes that are fun. Yeah. Right? There's one called, what was it called? Blood Race. Yeah. Where you basically race around the city against AI characters. And that's it. You're just racing from point to point. Boom, boom. Yeah. But you gotta screw up zombies and, you know, kill each other as you're racing too. You can. And the other mode that I really, really enjoyed is, I can't remember what they're called right up top, slaughter mode or something like that. It's survival. Yeah. It is outright just Armageddon. You go out, how long can you last? How many hordes of zombies can you actually annihilate before they destroy you? Yeah. That's addictive.
Oh yeah, it sounds like one of those just like time killer addictive
It really
games.
is.
Like one of those, the way you're talking about was one of those just like phone games where it's just addicting.
Kind
you
of.
just have to.
It kind of is. I wasn't expecting it at first, but it was like, yo, I went like this far. How far can I go next time? Next time you do like half the distance you did last time. Yeah. Almost raging again. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I went further. Yeah. I find that to be a lot of fun because you pick up power-ups as you go along. You know, again, like machine guns, flamethrowers. There's a whole bunch of power-ups you get. But it pretty much comes back to the same thing. You're just collecting cash to upgrade your car, to make it stronger. You know, most people that have played it will probably unanimously agree there's no point not playing as a limo because it has the best armor in the game, and armor seems to be the one thing you need the most of because sometimes you can't turn around fast enough in your car because it's not like a first-person shooter where you're like, you gotta back up and... But it's fun. I mean, it is fun. I wish it was a little bit longer, but I mean, what can you expect from a game like this? That's why these modes are fun. But... yeah, it was, you know, for what it is, it was enjoyable. Yeah. I have to honestly say it was enjoyable for what it is. But, you know, after a couple days of playing it, kind of on the side now, I beat it. And I had fun doing it. I just wish there was a lot more to it as well. Yeah. But, I mean, it is what it is, right? Like, it was on sale in eShop. I was like, oh, I just want to play something for a few minutes. And it entertained me for the week. Yeah. So I can't really complain. But again, I would say for people, they should check it out. Because if they like those style of games, it is fun. Yeah. Right? And it's fun. What else have you been playing?
My Switch game would be put back Breath of the Wild. Put back on Breath of the Wild. Trying to get myself to beat it. Still haven't. I get stuck trying to get my Darkling costume, which just costs way too much, in my opinion. I understand why, because it's like the greatest thing in the world. But it's just me getting lost in that Zelda-esque world. Like, it's just getting stuck in that world again. Like, I love the game. I love the combat, everything about it. I don't like your weapon degradation, like anything like that. Just it annoys me just because they break way too easily.
I found that too.
Yeah, I don't like that aspect. I wish they never put that in. Like, but you don't need that.
You don't. But I guess what they were going for was more not the realism, but that make you go grind for it, add more to play time. Because let's face it, most people would have got one sword and been like, that's it, the Master Sword. Yeah. And that's it. They're not playing with anything.
Well, that's the point of any, like, once you get the Master Sword in any Zelda game, like, that's supposed to be
Yeah.
you're taught like you shouldn't need another weapon after the Master Sword.
No, that's what I mean. I think they're just trying to go with that.
Well, they were
Kind of
trying to
play.
give people.
Make you play with different
Yeah.
styles as you go, you know? Pick
I
up the
get it.
axe, pick up the other swords, pick up the spears.
I just hate that aspect. In any video game, I hate that.
Sure.
Like,
Especially when it's that quick.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to get myself to beat it. It's one of those games where I don't want to beat it. I just want to keep on going just because I don't want it to end. Like, it's just one of those things where I get at it with the intention of beating it and just never do, just because I just get lost in the world. It just...
Yeah, it's a good world. I mean, it is a fun... That is an amazing game.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, probably the best Switch game that is out.
I would agree.
Arguably, I mean, some people might argue, but it kind of is.
In my opinion, I've always been that Zelda fan, so
But
it would be one of those
part. It was the fact that you can look in the distance and go, I want to climb that mountain.
Yeah,
you can.
I'm going to that
That's
mountain.
the one
I'm going
part.
to climb it.
Yeah.
And I can get to that mountain.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Like, I love that aspect.
That was that one part of that game where it's like you can literally go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I like that. That to me, that was the selling point in the game. It's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
And it's true. Anywhere in that game, you can figure out a way to get to.
And you can play different ways, different styles. Like, it doesn't limit you to, you have to fight this way only. That's the way we want.
Yeah.
You can change it up for yourself. You can either make it really easy or really hard for yourself. And I do love that aspect of it.
Yeah. No, that is a great game. I remember I had a lot of fun with that game. I just didn't like the one part, and it was just because it was irritating. That city you go to with the water people. I don't remember what it was called. Where you get that one suit of armor, and they're just the way you have to travel all the time.
I know what you're talking.
That was the
Zora.
That was the only thing that was just kind of like.
I want to say it's Zora, but I think that's the person's name.
I don't remember.
I really think that's the person's name, but I'm saying Zora. I'll go with Zora.
You know what part I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
That was just, to me, it was a little bit of a drag on.
That city confused me.
That's what I mean. It just kind of dragged on a little bit. Like, I get it in the game that the parts in it were great, but just to me it took away a little bit from me, because after that it's like I want to go to that lava mountain.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, I'm gonna burn if I go there.
Yeah.
But once you get there, you're like, this part's awesome.
Yeah.
Right. But my favorite part in that game was probably the snow areas.
Snow areas?
I really had fun there.
You want to know what I had the
so
funnest time doing? And it was the weirdest, is bowling. Bowling that giant snowball down.
Yep.
And it was just like, it drove me nuts. It drove me nuts. Because I'm a perfectionist. Like, it's, when it comes to something like that, it's like, no, I want to get a strike every time.
Yeah.
It's like, when it goes like this, it's like, why? Why did it do that? Why?
OCD's
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's definitely OCD problem with that. Yeah.
No, that is a great game. Yeah. You got some good choices you're playing.
Thank you.
I really, Breath of the Wild was good, especially, hopefully Breath of the Wild 2 comes out soon.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Because that would be a lot of fun to get back into that. I just wish that actually Breath of the Wild as well, I just want to say, had better DLC. Yeah. I wish they actually had more expansion on the game.
Well, I wish the temples weren't generic. Like, they were just, you get the same intro. No matter what it was the same kind of intro to the temple. There was no there's no diversity. Yeah, it's a different kind of thing that you're doing in the temple, but I want to go back to Links of Past, like those kind of temples where it's like an actual mission.
That's why I wished right from the get-go that they did DLCs. With expanding things, so you could actually go and do dungeon crawling, legitimately go.
I want dungeons.
That's what I mean. Even just DLCs like that, not the temples and puzzles like that, but let's go into the dungeons where we can loot. Let's go, not even make another part, make an underworld to the place. Even it doesn't matter what they do. That's what I wanted, because that game was so good. Like you said, you don't want to finish the game. Yeah. But when you do, it's like, well, now you want more.
Yeah, exactly.
It's an amazing feeling, because the developers did their job at that point in time when you want more. But it sucks being a gamer where you're like, oh, I want to play more.
Now it's...
What's going to compare with that? Yeah. Right? And after Breath of the Wild, yes, really good games did come out after, which, kept you entertained and everything. But it's like, now you're talking about Breath of the Wild again. I'm like, man, I want to go back and play it again now. So I'm like, oh, and you mentioned Toe Jam and Earl. It's like, but that's its own game. But now Breath of the Wild, that's an epic style game. And now I wish that there was more.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I played it for so long too, and I explored so much of it. Like, now I'm thinking, did I miss anything?
Well, that's what draws me from, keeps me from beating it. It's like, did I miss something? But like, me, it's like, I'll go to every inch of the map, looking for everything, and it's like, but I want there to be something I haven't found.
No, great game.
Or I want, I'm killing the monsters to get my monster money stuff for the little dude there to get my outfit, but it's like, that's a mission I've made for myself, or something that I'm trying to find myself.
That's a great game.
Yeah.
Great game. Well, that's all I've been playing.
The same here, bro.
Well, that's a lie.
Well, I play Fallout 76.
I'm still playing Darkest Dungeon.
Yeah.
I still haven't beat that damn game.
Oh.
But, so that's what we've been playing this week. Catch us next week, and we'll let you know we're playing next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. Have a good one, guys.
All right.